Hello, everybody, and welcome in for another special edition non-player interview. I have the honor of being joined today with Pedro Mirabal. I know you recognize the last name. This is not a big stretch. This is Jose's father and Jay's uncle. Pedro, welcome in to the SDL podcast. How are you this morning?
Great. Matt, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to come in. It's obviously the first time I'm with you guys, and I hopefully we can make it fun.
Absolutely. So, before we get to the basketball, look, I did my diligence as a podcast host, and I looked you up. You're fascinating gentleman with a really brilliant background. Just take a minute or two, if you wouldn't mind, and just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you come from, what you do now. Again, it's a really interesting background.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm actually a retired engineer, network engineer, and three beautiful kids. Jose being one of them. I'm currently a councilman here in New Jersey, and looking forward to spending a little bit more time with you guys. Really been doing retire actually for just a little bit over 2 years, and keeping very busy with a lot of the things that I'm doing, not only on the career side, but aside from that as well. And one of them was actually watching you guys, and I think it's an awesome thing that you guys are doing. I really had a lot of fun watching some of the guys, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a little bit into that
Absolutely.
in a
Let's
little
let's
bit.
dive right in. So you watched the green yellow game from last Tuesday. Was that your first SDL experience? Had you watched a game prior to that?
It was my first.
Okay.
Yes.
So what did you think of the quality, the production? We've got an announcer. I mean, this is the best men's basketball league that no one's ever heard of. We put so much effort into it, especially Edie, the guy that kind of runs around and does all the tech and the production, everything. What did you think? Honest opinion. Don't pull any punches here.
No, absolutely. I was actually impressed of the quality. I thought it was very clear. Um, you could see a lot of the players and everything that was going on, and the announcing was exceptional as well. Kind of funny, and so I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Fantastic. So I have to know, and I'm going to look to my side here and bring up the stats from the game. Just overall, give me like a standard, grade school letter grade A, B, C, D, F. I have to know how you think Jose did in his game. And I'm just going to read his stat line really quickly here. Uh, he had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 0 assists on 14 shots, and he shot 21% from the field.
I was impressed about the defensive moves that he actually had. I think he was guarding a taller guy, and it seemed like he was keeping him pretty at bay in terms of not letting him score too much. He kept, the individual kept passing. And I know Jose was trying to set up a few play as well. I didn't mention, but I actually did coach for quite some time. Not Jose, although I was part of playing, with him and getting him ready for that. But with the other kids that I have, and so from a shooting perspective, I think he could do a little bit better. I think he didn't show all of his talents there yet, but it's coming.
Well, that's interesting. Because getting into the shooting a little bit, and this I'm going to read because this it comes secondhand, probably even third hand at this point. But apparently, Jose has called himself Kobe Bryant, or a comparison to Kobe Bryant,
Wow.
a natural scorer,
Okay.
and one that defenses in this league would strategize against. How do you feel? How do you feel about those claims?
Well, it's funny because I thought he would call himself, Michael Jordan, because that's what he wanted to be at the beginning when he was a little kid. 8 years old, he's already dribbling through his legs and doing all these crazy moves. He was always pretty good at that. Maybe because of the Mamba mentality, he changed, to Kobe. But hopefully he's going to be showing some of that. I didn't see a lot of that yet, but I'm pretty sure he'll claim that he tried.
Yeah, the league wants to see it. I will say, and I watched. So my team was on bye week last week, so I wasn't there, but I got to watch live every minute of the
Okay,
game. I do have to hand it to him. Defensively, he did. I feel like he did play pretty well, especially against Fink. By the way, is the name of the taller gentleman. Just so you're aware, he is far and away the best guy in the league. Daniel Fink. His stat line, just so you know, was 28 points and 36 rebounds, as well as 6 assists. And on 19 shots, Fink shot 74%,
yeah, he
which
he
is
kept.
insane.
Yeah, it is insane because all they had to do was pretty much spot him and throw the ball to him. But it seemed like he was a few times, and he was you know open. He was able to score a little bit easier. But it seemed like Jose was keeping him a little bit at bay when he was. So I thought he did a pretty good job there. But the guy definitely, yeah, he looks like pretty good.
Yeah, he's a different animal. If there's A's, B's, and C's, he's an A plus relative to the
Okay,
league. But yeah, I did watch a couple possessions where Jose did a pretty good job, forced the ball away from him. Um, so look, Jay and Jose, this is actually not the first family connection we've had in the SDL. There's one other unbelievably complicated scenario where two guys in the league, and this is not a joke, by the way, two guys in the league, and one guy married the other guy's mom.
boy,
Yeah. So, but outside of that, this is the only other true family connection that we've got. Same exact last name, same bloodlines. Um, Jay told me there's been some rivalries growing up between these two, and not just
boy,
between those two, but between you and your brother,
right?
Jay's father. And Jay asked me, wanted to specifically have me ask you about two things. One, in general, describe how those games went. Who was the more successful set of Miraballs?
My God, he really wants me to go into
He
that, huh?
does. He
Uh,
does. And he wants you to be honest, or you can lie and make him look
no,
bad.
no,
Either one.
absolutely, absolutely. We did have a very competitive encounters. I should call them. Well, you see how tall Jay is, right? So he has a couple of other brothers that are just as tall. Um, and he does have one of the brothers that at the time did imagine a LeBron James coming at a 12-year-old kid, 100 miles an hour. So it's a little abusive at times, I think, but um, he didn't tell you who won most of those games, right? He'll claim that they did.
He
I'm
does.
pretty
He
sure.
not only does he
Uh,
claim it, he boasts it.
yes, yes, but they were very competitive, and I would say that it's something that I think most families should probably do, which is have those kinds of fun events among parents and families. Because although there were times when it got very very competitive, because that's how we are. And everybody wanted to win, and whenever they lost, of course, they wanted to go play another game because they didn't want to go home losing, right? He'll laugh about that one. But I saw something about some scars, and I said, "Oh, he doesn't want to go there." But
But he wants me to go
uh,
there. He sent me not only in the text with you and I, he sent me individually a message. I'm supposed to ask you about the
okay,
scar on his hand. And let me bring up exactly what he had said to me individually. But he said, make sure you ask him about the scar on my hand. There was blood everywhere. Um, and he said it was caused out. Again, I don't know how old he was when this happened, so there might be some bias in there as a child. But he said, let's see, where was it? It was either his bracelet or his ring when he got super aggressive. He, meaning you, Pedro, got super aggressive on defense and sliced me up with a bloody ending.
my God. So I think that's pretty funny, Jason.
So he's clearly not holding a grudge about it.
No,
That
no,
is for
but
sure.
you can see how tall he is. I'm claimed to be 6 feet, and of course, if there was any kind of scarring, it should have been coming from him to the other people, right? And I don't know what he's talking about the hands because, hopefully he can talk about all the other scars that he gave to people in terms of their heads or faces and stuff like that. But I'm sure that he's supposedly, I'm pretty sure right now he complains about fouls, right?
Oh, all the time. He not only does
But,
he complain about
but
fouls,
yeah,
he does this
those were,
he does this injury thing where if he misses a shot, he starts limping. The
oh,
defense, he'll be limping, but then all of a sudden when they get the ball back, suddenly his ankle's fine
it's
again, and he
okay.
can go pivot to the basket and go right up. But
So,
that's
so,
beside the
so you
point.
can see, I'm not making it up, right? You
I
guys are
believe
seeing it.
you
So,
more than I believe him. I believe you every day and twice on Tuesdays. That's when we play.
so
That's for
Jason,
sure.
yeah. So Jason, take a look. Whatever you're doing now, they all can see that that's what you were doing then, and stop blaming people about no scars. There was no scars, right? If anything, it was coming from you guys. Talk about the average height difference of 5 inches for you guys compared to us, and we'll still beat you guys. So, I would leave it there, and I would just say that the two teams are very competitive, and they do have a lot of talents in terms of with their height and everything else. But we took them down.
I love
That's
it.
the bottom
I love
line.
it. So last real question here, and I just need you to settle a score here within the SDL and take all family bias out of it. You got to tell us, clock's winding down. You're down 1 point. You need a bucket. Are you passing it onto the block with Big J, or are you dishing it to the top of the key with Jose? What are you doing? You're the three man. You got to pass the ball to somebody. Where are you going for that bucket? Clock's winding down.
My God. Well, with the 3 point, I have to give it to Jose. I
No, you're
guess
down
if
one.
Jay
You're
do
down
it,
one. You only
yes,
need a bucket. You're sending it to Jose.
I'm sending it to Jose. If there's a 3 pointer now, if it's coming down the pipe and Jay is spotting down, I probably may pass it to him because he's tall. But yeah,
Fair enough. And I'm talking out loud. I actually play Jay in 2 weeks. And Jay and I are similar. He's a little taller than me, but we're very similar. Similar play style. We usually end up covering each other, and they're usually pretty good games. So maybe I should piss him off before we play. But here we are.
see, if you do that, then you know you got him, right? Because he's gonna start that complaining thing
Gets
about
in
the
his head a little
scars.
bit.
And
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You know the mental games.
be careful though, be careful because he can shoot. He can shoot.
That is very fair. So, actually, I thought of one more question I want to ask you. Is that the last SDL game you're going to watch, or do you plan on watching a little bit more now that you saw kind of what we do on a every Tuesday?
No, absolutely. I plan to watch more. I think, some of the things you guys were talking about was, how would you make it a little bit better, and maybe, having some horns there when somebody scores a point, or having some music in the background, or kidding around, every time somebody makes a shot, or, pass the ball. And guys, yes, do pass the ball a little bit more and set up the plays.
Yeah, I don't remember which game it was, but it was a really interesting game. The team had a total of 10 assists in 36 minutes, which is not a lot, but it came from two guys. Two guys had 5 assists each, and the other three guys on the team all had goose eggs, which is it's
Yeah.
an incredible. I mean, just not
Nice.
like you could do that on purpose. It was
Yes.
really wild to see. Look, I'm on the baby blue team. We play at 6 o'clock every day just because we have
Okay.
the guy that runs the league with all the tech and everything. So we get that first game slot just so he can spend the rest of the night working on production. So it's 6 o'clock. Tune in, YouTube, watch us 2 weeks from now. It'll be my team versus Big J. Would love for you to tune
Oh,
in
okay.
and let
So
us
you
know your
guys,
thoughts. Maybe we'll have you back
thank you so much. So you guys do it every day, you
every
said, or
Tuesday.
every
Every
Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Every
That's what I
Tuesday night.
thought.
I'll
Yes.
make sure Jay or Jose sends you the link, the reminder on Tuesday to say, hey, if you got a couple minutes, make sure you watch.
But I have to give you a lot of kudos on, I think this is a great thing. People need to stay engaged. This is a great way to do exercise, plus have a little bit of an outlet, for you
For sure.
guys. And hopefully, at some point you guys start having games where you bring some of the families in and they can enjoy it as well. But I think this is a beautiful thing, and I commend you guys on it, and I wish you lots of luck.
We appreciate that. Yeah, we're thinking about that. The gym that we currently play at is just too small for that. We did have another gym for a very short period of time. But the HOA, it was in a community that HOA kind of cut us off.
Mhm.
But we do something very cool, an all-star weekend. It's usually either Saturday or Sunday, and that's a full family event. It's at an outdoor court.
That's
We
cool.
have it catered. I grab a microphone, co-host Joey grabs a microphone. We MC the entire thing. We have a 3-point contest, an all-star game, a knockout contest. Families there, food's all covered, drinks all covered. We get bubble machine for the kid, a lot of fun stuff, and it's a very family friendly environment. We would love to find a gym that would open us up to allow us to do that on a week in and week out basis. So great recommendation, and we are working on.
Yeah, no, but that's great that you guys have at least that event that you do with the family, and I think it's beautiful. So again, keep it going, and lots of luck to you guys.
Thank you so much, Pedro. It was such a pleasure. I really appreciate you coming on, taking a few minutes here to chat with me and to let everybody know about the epic 2-on-2 battles that Big J has filled us in on, and to kind of set the record straight. So we appreciate your honesty and you kind of like I said, setting that record straight. So thank you so much, for Pedro, for myself, and for all the editing crew and stuff in the background. This has been the SDL podcast. Thank you so much for watching. We really, really appreciate it. Everyone have a fantastic evening.
Thank you.